Typhoon Odetteph Tropical Cyclone Bulletin Number 3 issued at 11 a.m. on December 15, 2021. This message is valid until the next bulletin at 5 p.m. today. As IT moves westward over the Philippine Sea east of Mindanao, Odetteph intensifies into typhoon. The center's location 10 a.m. Based on all available data, the center of Typhoon Odetteph was projected to be 590 kilometers east of Hinachuan, Surigao del Sur 8.8 N, 131.7 E. Intensity winds reaching 120 kilometers height towards the center, with gusts up to 150 kilometers height, and a central pressure of 975 hectopascals. Currently active movement at a speed of 20 kilometers height, we're heading west. Tropical cyclone winds extend up to 330 kilometers from the core, strong winds or higher stretch outwards. In effect, tropical cyclone wind signals TCWS number 2 TCWS strong winds prevailing or expected within 24 hours. Mindanao, Surigao del Norte's eastern half, Claver, Sargao, and Bucas Grand Islands, and Surigao del Sur's western half. Number 1 TCWS strong winds prevailing or expected within 36 hours. Luzon, Sorsogon, Masbate, encompassing Ticao Island, and Romblon southern half. Cagidiocan, San Fernando, Magdiwang, Alcantara, Luke, Santa Fe, San Jose. Visayas, eastern Samar, northern Samar, Leyte, Biliran, southern Leyte, Bohol, Cebu, Negros Orientales, Negros Occidentales, Siquijor, Iloilo, Capiz, Aklan, Antique, and Guimaras are some of the provinces in the Philippines. Mindanao, Agusan del Sur, Agusan del Norte, the rest of Surigao del Norte, Dinagat Islands, northern Bukidnon, Malabog, Impasagang, Similao, Manolo Fortich, Libona, Bangon, Misamis Oriental, Camiguin, northern Misamis Occidental, Plaridel, Balyangao, Sapong Dalaga, Misamis Oriental, Camitapitan City, Sibitad, Rizal, La Libertad. Dipole is really heavy. Due to the trough and the outermost rain bands of Odette, light to moderate showers are anticipated today through tomorrow early morning over Surigao del Norte, Surigao del Sur, Dinagat Islands, and southern Leyte. Heavy to intense rains with at times torrential rains expected over the Dinagat Islands, Surigao del Norte, the northern portion of Surigao del Sur, Agusan del Norte, the northern portion of Agusan del Sur, Camiguin, Misamis Oriental, southern Leyte, Bohol, Negros Oriental, and Cebu tomorrow morning through Friday morning. Over Leyte, the southern portion of eastern Samar, Siquijor, and the whole of Caraga, moderate to heavy rains with at times strong downpours are expected. Over Bicol region, Zamboanga del Norte, Oriental Mindoro, Romblon, and the rest of Visayas and northern Mindanao, light to moderate rains with some severe downpours are expected. Heavy to heavy rains, with at times torrential rainfall, throughout western Visayas and northern and central Palawan, including Cuyo and Cagayancillo Islands, from Friday early morning to Saturday early morning. Over Occidental Mindoro, Oriental Mindoro, and the Negros Oriental, moderate to severe rainfall with some violent downpours are expected. Over the Bicol region, northern Mindanao, Caraga, Zamboanga del Norte, Quezon, Aurora, the eastern regions of Cagayan and Isabela, and the whole of Visayas, light to moderate rains with some severe downpours are expected. Flooding including flash floods and rain-induced landslides are likely in these conditions, particularly in places that are highly or very highly sensitive to these hazards as highlighted in hazard maps, as well as in areas with large antecedent rainfall. Strong winds. Any of the locations where TCWS2 is in effect will suffer gale to storm force winds. Structures and vegetation may sustain minor to major damage as a result of this. During the passage of the severe tropical storm, strong winds, strong breeze to near gale with stronger gusts will be encountered in any of the locations where TCWS1 is now in place. Structures and vegetation may sustain minor damage as a result of this. As Odette approaches, TCWS areas will be enlarged in subsequent bulletins, and hoisted wind signals in some parts of the country will be updated. Due to the possibility of devastating typhoon force gusts in areas near or along the path of Odette, the highest level of wind signal that may be hoisted during its passage is TCWS3. Inundation of the coast in the next 48 hours. There is a low to moderate probability of storm surge reaching 2.0 meters in height. Flooding may occur in low-lying coastal areas of Visayas, the southern portion of Masbate, Surigao del Norte, Surigao del Sur, Dinagat Islands, Camiguin, Misamis Oriental, and Misamis Occidental due to rising sea levels and powerful waves from the shoreline advancing inland. Refer to Storm Surge Watch 1, which was issued at 8 a.m. today, for more details. Coastal water threatening moderate to high seas 1.2 to 7.5 meters will be experienced across the seaboards of locations where the TCWS is in place over the next 24 hours, especially in the open sea areas. All types of maritime vessels are at risk in these conditions. Mariners are advised to stay in port or seek cover until the winds and seas have died down. A gale warning remains in effect for the seaboards of northern Luzon, the eastern seaboard of central Luzon, the eastern and western seaboards of southern Luzon, the western seaboard of Visayas, and the eastern seaboard of Mindanao not under any wind signal due to Typhoon Odette and the prevailing northeast monsoon. Gale Warning 47, issued at 5 a.m. today, has more details. The remaining seaboards of central Luzon, southern Luzon, and the western and northern seaboards of Mindanao that are not under any wind signal will have moderate to rough seas 1.2 to 3.1 meter in the next 24 hours. Small seacraft operators are at risk under these conditions. Mariners are advised to use caution when venturing out to sea and to avoid navigating in these conditions if at all feasible. Outlook on the track and the intensity. Typhoon Odette is expected to track west-northwest until today afternoon or evening, then westward after that. The core of this tropical cyclone is expected to make landfall in the vicinity of Caraga or eastern Visayas tomorrow afternoon or evening, according to the forecast track. The center of Odette would then proceed westward, passing across numerous provinces in the central and western Visayas until emerging over the Sulu Sea on Friday morning or afternoon. This tropical storm is expected to strike northern Palawan on Friday evening before emerging over the West Philippine Sea after passing near or over the Cuyo archipelago. At 8 a.m. today, Odette became a typhoon. As the typhoon crosses the Philippine Sea, it is projected to intensify further today and tomorrow, reaching a peak strength of 155 kilometers height before making landfall tomorrow afternoon. As it hits the Visayas and Palawan, this tropical storm is expected to weaken slightly, but it will still be classified as a typhoon. Once Odette appears over the West Philippine Sea, a re-intensification is probable. In light of these developments, the general public and disaster risk reduction and management offices should take all necessary precautions to protect life and property. Residents in regions listed as being highly or extremely vulnerable to these threats are recommended to follow local officials' evacuation and other recommendations. Please monitor products issued by your local Pagasa Regional Services Division for heavy rainfall warnings, thunderstorm rainfall advisories, and other severe weather information relevant to your location. At 5 p.m. today, the next tropical cyclone bulletin will be released.